Both JoJo and Lisa would watch on as Diana and Cars would ascend on top of the scaffolding upon the ruins of one of the Colosseums of Rome. Diana and Cars would prepare themselves for battle as JoJo gestured over to his master and recently discovered mother. "JoJo, are you all right?" "I'm fine, Lisa. Do not worry about me. I'd say that Wamu was probably one of my toughest challenges, and now I feel more conflicted than ever. Not at his defeat, but just what I would really think of him. But enough about me, what about you? Cause has placed that bomb into your body. I can't believe you would take such a gamble." Lisa would smile at him. "And what's that supposed to mean?" "Well, perhaps it's a bomb. Or perhaps it's nothing more but candy." "Candy? You don't think that I would actually place a real bomb in myself now, would you? Yes, it is a fake, but all it will do is give me a little bit of a tummy ache. It's nothing to worry about, and I do have a fondness for sweets." "You mean to tell me that you fooled Cars with a fake stone of Asia that turned to be nothing more but dyed rock candy? You truly are devilish. You see where you get it from." "This is the real deal," she said, holding the stone in question. "So what now?" "We must place our faith in the Amazonian. She has the title of Campione. That's not something to be taken lightly. Campione. I can't believe that there are really gods in this world that we need to fear about. They're not like anything that Granny Irina has ever told me of." "Well, those who choose to become Campione never live a normal life. You could say that they're even more obscure than those who study and master Harmon. A Campione only comes about when they gain the power necessary to kill a god via a grimoire. Of course, there are magical organizations out there who work with them or against them. And where exactly do we stand in the grand scheme of things?" "Well, you could say that we're more observers than anything else. But now, it seems like fate has drawn all of us together for this moment. Once Cause is defeated, this war will finally be over." Meanwhile, Diana raised her arms in front of her, the bands of Atlas now around her wrist. A prize she had received for defeating the heretic Titan, the one who held the world on his back. As Cars would produce 2 bone blades from both of his arms, he prepared himself in a fighting stance, but gave off no killing intent. Diana would try to read his movements before Cars would appear from a crevice behind her, attempting to run his blade through her back. Using the bands of Atlas, she had managed to catch both of the bone blades that were shot towards her, as she would grab hold of Cars and drag him out. "You didn't really think that I would fall for that, now would you?" "Of course not. You are not like a regular human. You are an Amazonian, those who are trained in the art of war. But tell me, do you know of the main rule? And what are you spouting about now, Cause? The first and only rule when it comes to war is that you win by any means necessary." Off in the distance, another Cars would appear, smiling as he held a blade to Steve Trevor's throat. What have you done?" "You didn't really think that I was going to go into this in a one-on-one now, did you?" "Cause, you bastard!" The army of over 100,000 vampires were now starting to stir, leaving from the Colosseum and surrounding them on every side. You might be powerful, JoJo, Lisa, Diane, but in the end, you are not strong enough to overcome the might of the dead. The power of this amulet of Anubis. It allows me to command all those in the grave. It gives me the authority of the dead on this earth. I think you understand what that means. This area is not just an arena. It is a grave. A grave for the countless of the dead who have fallen in battle, now to be revived and used at my will. We had a deal, Diana would say. No, we didn't. You think that I am like Wamu? That I am like AC/DC? You think that we share a bond or a brotherhood just because they were my kin, and for you to believe that proves how foolish you really are. Whether they lived or died, it made no difference to me. To achieve what I wanted, I would just as soon slit their own throats and watch them drain of life. In the end, only one of us could be king. And I alone am that king. This world and everything in it shall belong to me. I will answer to no one. No god, no demon, no angel, and certainly no hero. I am the one who will rise above them all. I alone shall rule. And unlike you, there's nothing that holds me back. You are fond of this human boy, aren't you? Steve! Don't worry about me! He can only kill me once. You are a brave one, Steve Trevor. Magic Man. Yeah, I wear a lot of hats. What of it? You have heart. But tell me, do you want your last image of her to be in tears? Steve could see the look of worry and fear on Diana's face. So what? You're gonna try to use me as some bargaining chip? If that's really what you think of me, then you're wasting your time. I don't think you understand the gravity of your situation. I don't play games. I play to win. I have no qualms with taking your life. Then why are you waiting? Why are you dragging this out? If you're really about it, then go ahead and do it. What's stopping you, huh, cars? Steve would say. You're sitting on your knees at my mercy. And you still have the backbone to talk to me in such a way. Yeah, because to be honest, I really don't see anything worth being afraid of. Diana! Let him go. Please. What? Don't listen to him! It doesn't matter about me. Alright? You know why we're here. You know this is probably gonna happen one way or another. You have a job to do. I won't let you die. Don't worry. We'll see each other again. Suddenly, his body would begin to glow as he began to channel magic all through the pores of himself. Instantly, the ring of death would begin to dissolve in his head as the poison would begin to release itself. I put this on my life, my honor, as a knight of the Copper Black Cross. You will pay for your evil cause. Steve would use his remaining strength as he began to chant an incantation, running through the multitude of explosive and powerfully devastating spells that he had in his arsenal. This wasn't how he wanted to die, no. Perhaps if things could have been different, he could have lived a longer and more fulfilling life. But his duty was not to himself, but rather onto the world as a whole. Cars and his clones would begin to dissolve and dissipate. Anything in Steve's vicinity would be incinerated. Diana would find herself attacked now by the army of vampire and zombie alike, as so too would Lisa and JoJo. Over 100,000 strong, with them surrounded by their enemies on every side. Lisa would prioritize saving the stone, which brought her into conflict with the real cars. I can't say that I am surprised that you would go back on your word. I see now that you truly have no honor. There is no honor when it comes to war. There is only victory and defeat. I have never tasted defeat. In over 15,000 years, many have stepped to me, and they have all fallen. I haven't gotten this far to fail now. Now hand over the stone. And you said that I would never get to fight you. Well, now I can let out everything I've been feeling for a long time now, cause for years I have let my rage simmer under the surface. And I finally get to unleash it all, so I thank you. Because now all of my hate, all of my fury, every burning emotion of death and destruction that I have had to keep in check, I can finally let it out. And you will get to feel all of it. Lisa would then engage with cars, as JoJo and Diana would continue their fight against the army of the dead. Two warriors now being pushed to their limits, JoJo still recovering from his fight against Wamu, as Nabu would be working overtime to keep his body afloat. JoJo, you need to be careful. I'm channeling as much of my power into you, but your body has already reached its limit, and it doesn't matter, one way or another. This will end tonight, Nabu, no matter what it takes. If you get a shot to take out that bastard, don't hesitate to do it. But JoJo, no! This war has gone on for too long, and it won't last another day. It's time to end this. Right. I have wavered long enough, JoJo. I feel that same spirit that lives within you, the spirit of your grandfather, of your mother. Now, you too bear that shining spirit, a light that illuminates the soul and burns the darkness. I will match your resolve, Joestar, and if it is the end, then it will be the end of us both. But now, in this final hour, we will let them feel the light of the sun. Diana had now picked up her sword once again and was charging at the army with her whole strength. Having seen Steve destroy himself in such a way, she felt an overwhelming anxiety forming within her. Her power beginning to grow in strength as she cleaved through hordes and hordes of the undead. Meanwhile, on top of the structure, Lisa did everything in her power to defeat cars. However, in the midst of battle, JoJo had managed to close the distance, getting closer to his master. As soon the two of them found themselves fighting in unison, JoJo would allow more and more of himself to be given into with Nabu, using the power of Dr. Fate, beginning to channel more and more of it into himself. Lisa now grew concerned not just with the defeat of Cars, but with the safety of JoJo. Due to this, JoJo had allowed his guard to be broken for a moment, and Cars, ever the opportunist, was maneuvering his body to send a lethal strike towards him. At the final moment, Lisa would move him out of the way, but would be severely stabbed as well. Before JoJo could even react, more and more of the army were now upon him, as Lisa was stabbed once more with a bone blade, as she collapsed to the ground, and Cars took hold of the Stone of Asia. He had now claimed the prize that he had wanted, and his forces, now even more overwhelming, were going to destroy his enemies once and for all. But ever the egotistical maniac that he was, he took hold of the Hamon Master as JoJo raised himself up, cleaving through hordes and hordes of the enemy to get back to her. Let her go, bastard! Yes, the Red Stone of Asia and Lisa. Tell me, JoJo, do you just enjoy losing? First, the captain, along with that, your friend Caesar, who clings to life. Now your master. It seems like everyone you know continues to die all around you. Despite having the power of Nabu on your side, you hold the title of Dr. Fate, but what really does it mean? A master of everyone else's fate except your own, and you can't even save others. Time and time again, you have been swayed on the scale, and you have been found lacking. You continue to fall short, time and time again. But do you want to know what I truly love about you, JoJo? In spite of every time that you have been made a fool, you continue to get back up. It's probably because you have no brains at all, but still it's a quality to be admired and a form of entertainment. Yes, this scene has played out time and time again. But I wonder, what will you do? You can come after me, and you can take the stone, or he stabbed 2 holes through Lisa's legs, running a chain through them as he dangled her over the edge. If I drop her from this distance, she'll die on impact, and she'll be a good source of food for my men. Let her go? Is that what you want me to do? Okay, if that's what you want. He let the rope begin to slip from his hands. No! Get off of me! You're making this entirely too easy for me, JoJo. If you truly had the heart, you would let this bitch fall to the ground and be destroyed. If I truly am your enemy like you claim, then you should come at me with everything you've got. What? You can't do it, JoJo? You can't make that sacrifice? Well, why not? You've been making this sacrifice all this time. You have been chasing after me, after us, all across the world, and what do you have to show for it? Death, blood, all of it is at your feet. And now, when the clock is about to strike, You still can't make that decision. Naboo. What vessel have you chosen? Surely you can do better than this. Well, JoJo, I have enjoyed our time together. Really, I have. But now it's time to bring this farce to an end. It's time for me to begin my new age. A new era. The era of cars. And it doesn't include you. The army would focus on holding JoJo down, watching as cars would allow Lisa to fall. Desperately, he asked for more power. Naboo, wanting to respond to JoJo's spirit, was ready to give it to him, but it would destroy him. Just then, a streak of red would come flying through the sky, moving in and grabbing Lisa before she could strike the ground and carrying her to safety. JoJo recognized that costume, and Cars did as well, but how? Cars would say. There's no way in hell you should be alive. Wamu killed you. You were dead. Hamon technique. Bubble cutter. Multiple bubbles would begin to shoot out like razors towards Cars, beginning to slice through his body as the red stone of Asia would begin to descend down to the ground below. No! Yes! You thought that it was over between us, Pillar Man? Stroheim? Speedwagon? Not the likeliest of alliances, eh, JoJo? Can't say that it's one that I'm too fond of myself. But in a crisis like this, it's all hands on deck. The Speedwagon Foundation has some much-needed manpower. Yes, but not just any manpower. The power of the German world. Strong. Now you will taste the true might of human ingenuity. Behold! An army of soldiers stood behind them, with ultraviolet lights mounted on their shoulders, lights potent and strong enough to burn away at the army of the dead. How you like me now, Cars? Annoyance. Nothing but annoyance. And here's some to boot! From out of the sky, there was flying a silver plane, something akin to that of a personal fighter jet. It came crashing in, shooting off 2 missiles, and once it landed into the army, puffs of smoking gas would begin to blow everywhere. The cries of the undead army could be heard, as the sounds of them being burned and melted away could be seen. As the plane would crash down as well, Speedwagon would shake his head. I told you were gonna need more time before you learned how to fly that thing. The pilot, shouting out of the plane, will land not too far from JoJo. Sorry about that, Mr. Speedwagon. Just trying to make a stylish entrance. Huh? Another Sandman? But who are you? You don't recognize me, JoJo? Man, that is hurtful. Here your friend flies all the way across the world to help you out, and you can't recognize me because I'm wearing a mask? Well, how about now? Smokey? Smokey, is that you? Sight for sore eyes, huh? How you like my new duds? Mr. Speedwagon hooked me up pretty well. Have to say, though, couldn't do too much for all that education stuff now. But I like to think that I pull this off even better than he does. And who are you? Well, Mr. Pillar Man Monster, sir, My name's Smokey Brown, but you'll be happy to know me as the Sandman. Nice to make your acquaintance. Or should I say, your nightmare. It makes no difference. You called in these mere, foolish creatures to fight with you, JoJo. As if you'll have a chance of stopping me. Ah! Another blast of Hamon-cutting bubbles would shoot towards Cars. He would maneuver, but his back had already been cut severely, as a red and black clad figure would land next to JoJo. Caesar? I couldn't let you have all of the fun now, could I, JoJo? Caesar, Don't worry. Lisa is safe. The tide of battle is finally turned, demon. Now you will answer to us. You couldn't even stand to Wamu, and that was less than a day ago. You expect me to believe that you have already changed? That you have possibly closed the gap? Don't make me laugh. The more that rise up, there are just more that are going to fall! Cars was immediately punched in the face by Diana as she stood next to the others. I'm going to kill you, Cars. Is there anyone else who wants to make an appearance? And now, this is the part where you say, you colorful costume clowns have no chance against perfection. Am I right? You colorful clowns, you have no chance against perfection. What? That's not so fun now, is it, Cars? It's easy to joke and laugh about people's lives when you feel like you're the one in control. But like I told you before, this war will end tonight. When the sun rises, it will rise on the ashes of your corpse. You have pissed every single one of us off. And for that, I congratulate you. Because now, you're finally going to get a taste of true justice. And I hope you're feeling hungry, because you've got a whole buffet coming right at you. Speedwagon would watch from a distance as JoJo, Caesar, Diana, and Smokey prepared themselves for battle. It's just like before. Jonathan, William, Jim, George, can't you see it? Your legacies haven't died. Your legacies continue to live on. They continue to burn as bright as the sun does when it rises up above the sky. No, evil will never prosper. Forever it lurks. Forever it hides in the darkness. The good of light, it will always shine forth. Now, JoJo, Speedwagon would yell. Finish this once and for all. I will. On the grave of my grandfather, and on the graves of all the lives that you have taken, Cars, you will fall. This, I promise you. This concludes JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate? Part 12. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. And stay tuned next time as we continue and conclude JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate? Part 13, the finale of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures Battle of Fate. What if Joseph Joestar was Dr. Fate? But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.